我们还有1分钟，下一个议程就开始，那请大家就尽速就座哦。好。我们议程就现在开始哦。那我们欢迎石川kenichiさん。
Hello, 你好。Well, I'm Jasper Ishigaki Kenichi from Shibuya PM from Tokyo, Japan. And this is probably third OSDC Taiwan, and I'm glad to see you again. And I'm really glad nothing is shaking or swaying this year. Anyway, today I'll talk about something called C-bands and quality. And do you know them, C-bands and quality? One, okay, two. So I'll explain first about C-bands. So what's C-bands? Well, C-band testing service. Well, one of the QA tools to keep C-band healthy and useful. And actually, we have another tool of the same origin. C-band testers. Well, if you attended Cornelius' talk yesterday, he showed this kind, this pages. This is, well, C-band testers. And C-band testing service and C-band testers, what's the difference? Well, both of them do testing. However, C-band testers test things that module authors wrote by themselves to assure quality and portability. So the C-band testers are doing really awesome things. It was, well, see this number of C-band tester reports, well, 20 million reports since, well, 1999 or something around that. And they test various versions of Perl and various OSCs. Very detailed information we can get. So, which version is broken, under where environment it's broken. And you can see reports like this. They also tester name and which version, which test broken, that kind of things. They're very, really awesome and doing very important works. But C-band testers are not perfect, so why it's not perfect? They can't help if authors don't write good tests. C-band testers do tests, authors wrote. So authors don't write tests. C-band testers don't have anything to test. On the other hand, C-band testing service tests things module authors don't or can't test. Usually don't. For example, well, your distribution is really extractable. with tar or zip, and you can unzip it, or you can untar it. If not, we can't use it. Or does it use strict pragma in everywhere, in every module, or in every script? If it does, Perl guesses less, so that makes it easier for people to collaborate. If it doesn't use everywhere, Perl guesses a lot, so some say, not everyone, some say, well, that isn't easy. That's hard to collaborate. Well, you need what Perl actually do here. You need to guess, or you need to fully understand it. Or CPAN testing service tests. Well, does it have pod tests? If it does, you'll have at least readable documentation with full of API documents. Well, I don't say that document is decent and full of information you need to write or use that module, but at least it has some information. Or is it used in other modules? If it is used by someone thinks it's useful. So probably you like it too. And so on. We have 24 tests and plus 10 extra tests now to assure quality. Well, quality is something sounds like quality or something looks like quality, but that is not actually quality. No. This is. So, this is quality. What is and we have 24 indicators, core indicators, Bluetooth, not executable, extractable, extracts nicely, has better auto-install, blah, blah, blah. And optional 10 indicators has example directory, has that distribution has some example, or test pod coverage. That distribution has some tests in T directory, or is it used somewhere? Metayaml is metadata is enough new, or metayaml declares Perl version. And in fact, we have a few more tests. Fixing dragons. Well, there is dragons. And if you show experimental metrics, quality increase to these experimental indicators. But usually, these indicators are not so useful for everyone, or controversial. Well, we need to discussion, or some people say that's good, some people say that's not so good. So we usually ignore these metrics, indicators. Anyway, some of them are nice to have, and some of them are what annoyed people in the past. So broken metadata, well, this may hinder installation of that distribution and other distribution that has some broken distribution that uses that broken distribution. And broken build tools, of course, this hinders installation. Or version inconsistency. Well, if version inconsistency exists, some of the modules in the distribution is installed, and something may not install. Or license issue. Well, usually it doesn't matter for you. And well, CPAN is basically free software. Like every distribution on the CPAN as free software license, but maybe if you want that distribution to packaged in Debian free as a package manager, that may matter. And you probably can't remember all of the past incidents, issues. What happened? What broke something was like. CPANs, maybe can, sort of. So that's one of the reasons why CPANs important infrastructure. And no matter how it's important, it's almost useless if no one uses it. So to attract people's attention, CPANs also offers a game like this. The CPANs game. The CPANs multiplayer online game. Well, it's just a list of high quality people's list. And we have, as of today, 56 people with full perfect scores. More than 50. Also share the highest mark around the world. And as for Chinese, Guard is maintaining a nice list. Well, in Acme CPAN authors, Taiwanese. And with this module and with a simple script, you'll get a list like this. The most qualitative authors in Taiwan with 5 or more distributions. Dr. Bean, quality 98, blah, blah, blah. Cindy, GS Lin, CL-san, Shelin, Snowfly, Audrey Tan, Ajay Liao, Cornelius, Guard. And for, 26, if I remember correctly, Taiwanese CPAN authors. There are 26 people in this list. If you are CPAN authors and if you are not listed, say Guard to add you. Like this, look at and hire someone with less than 5 modules. Anyway, note that, and quality is not quality, so that list is not always the people with very qualitative modules. And quality is not kind for people with long track record because, well, they tend to have something very good but very old and with old MetaYAML. So MetaYAML MetaYAML complies the recent practices. Anyway. And you can get a lot of information from the CPAN site. Other distribution of graphs or stats, there are a lot of information. Oh, slow. However, CPAN's project has not been in a good state for some time. Yeah, I wanted to use its database at YAPC Asia last year, but I couldn't because the server is down. The server was down and out of service. So I decided to set up my own mirror. Actually, this is cpans.charles.org, so that's my server. Yes, and I fixed some of the major issues at that time. Well. This site is made this CPAN module CPAN site, but CPAN testers fails or not available or unknown result. So I need to fix a lot of things at that time. But there are too many things to be done. And I've been working on its refactoring recently. And as a proof of concept, I've renewed an Acme CPAN author site. Well, this I've shown before. Well, so Acme CPAN authors also has quality. Bit slow. Okay. We have 24 quality indicators. And other Taiwanese and odd return. So we can, odd return is listed Acme CPANs 5 or more, dual life, female, GitHub, Taiwanese, and her distributions are like this. And as I said, has human readable license. Her modules, her distribution usually don't have this license things, so quality is a little lower. And activities. I also need to test queries, well, inefficient queries, not to scan tables without using indices. And during Perl QA hackathon held in Paris this spring, cpans.perl.org started redirecting to my mirror. So that's, at first my cpan.jar.org was a mirror. It's now something official. And new metrics is on the way. We discussed something at the QA hackathon, and new metrics is on the way. And finally, Moose and Moose, Mouse, Moo, and something like that, and will be taken into account soon. Well, previously, only some part of Moose or some part of I don't remember, but only something is considered alternative of use strict. But alternatives are, the number of alternatives are increased. But there's still lots to be done. For example, first worker, first analyzer, it takes around about 2 or 3 days to get full index, to full analyze of CPAN, and query tuning is required. And better UI using, well, boot. This is, well, I like this interface, but this may, you might think this is a bit old-fashioned, as this site is created, well, 6 or 7 years ago. So, and JSON API, incoming links, as you see, CPAN, such CPAN org has various links, discussion forum, RT, dependency list, other tools, reports, ratings, license, but there's no CPAN testers, CPAN testing services to link to CPANs. And also, metacpan.org don't have the links to us. So it should be fixed, and probably we should provide this numbers, this quality. So maybe JSON or something we need to provide. And probably more metrics are required, or more tests. Sorry, wait. These are actually, some of these 28 reports are bags, but some of these are feature requests. Some metrics should be added or something. Oh, incorrect. And so, if you find anything, if you have anything to be added, any statistics or any graph or something, feel free to ping me. And metrics repository is github.com/taxim/modules/cpans/analyze. And my Acme site repository is github.com/www/acme-cpan authors. And IRC channels, we usually use Perl-QA on IRC.perl.org. So that's about all. Is there any questions? Okay. So thank you.
请问观众有问题需要问讲者吗？那如果没有的话，那不然我们今天就这个议程就先到这边。那请大家就等一下就去后面领餐这样子。好，谢谢各位。
Oh, I forgot to tell you something. Well, if you want to calculate